Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is a good friend of mine, WWE Hall of Famer, and hopefully soon you will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, Chuck Coates. And I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
You're mighty welcome. I appreciate the intro. I had 20 years in the ring with WCW, WWF at the time, now WWE, and I started in 1987, and my career pretty much ended in 2006. But I had an opportunity to wrestle some of the greats in the business. I'm proud to say, my record on television wasn't that great, but they say the enhancement guys make the superstars of today. So hopefully, we went out there and did our job and made the Stings and the Stone Colds and the Rocks and all the guys that are well known today what they are. Hopefully helped out with that.
No, absolutely. Now I'm going to ask you some wrestling questions, and you can, some hard-hitting ones, and you can throw it back at me, and I'm going to pass the show over to you, put you in the driver's seat. But starting off, before we get into the whole wrestling thing, what can you tell us about yourself? When you went to college, were you a study nerd, party animal, and what did you do when you were growing up?
Well, it's pretty much my brother and I. He's 2 years younger. We were born in Durham, North Carolina. I was born in 1967. He's 2 years younger, 1969. And like I said, we grew up in Durham, just right outside of Raleigh, the RD, North Carolina area, well known, Research Triangle area. And we grew up wrestling fans. And one of those things where you hear the stories about brothers fighting, going at it, and imitating what we see on television. And we did. We were responsible for a few broken slats in the bed and a couple of springs in the couch. But, we wanted to be in that was our dream. Like some kids want to play basketball or football, or they want to be, fisherman, whatever, ballet, dance. And, everybody has a dream as a child. But we were hooked on wrestling at a young age, and so we grew up in the era of the late 70s on into the 80s was our time. Some of the guys we watched were, of course, rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes, that meant so much to my career and influenced me. And I've actually had the privilege of taking the elbow one time, so I'm proud to say that. God rest his soul. But Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, and down here in the South, it was the Blackjack Mulligans and Mass Superstar, Jimmy Superfly Snooker. Before they some of them went on up to WWE and made their name there, but a lot of the guys started down here. And so, long about 1984, 83, 84, I was still in high school. I thought, I think I'm going to do this. I had a dream of going to college and getting a degree, and I did. I went to North Carolina State. I met a guy named Mike Howell. He's actually had a contract with WWF. He was one of the He was one of the Dupps, if you remember, Jack Dupp. Otto Swans was Bo Dupp, and they were enhancement. They were actually contracted in the late 90s and were scheduled to make a TV run. Their gimmick was similar to the Wyatts. They were backwoods guys. They were in ECW too for 6 months to a year. And anyway, back to my story. Mike and I became real good friends, and we pretty much, long story short, dropped out of college, which I don't recommend for kids. Finish school and then live your dream. But we went down to Charlotte. Nelson Royal, that name is pretty common down here. He helped get us in the business, and we trained and worked and got our first shot in 1988 with the then WWF, and we started there. I say that was the beginning of my career. I had a couple of little independent outlaw type shows that we worked on the weekends. But my first big break was 1988, I would say. So I guess I started in 87, but 88 is when we got a call to go to TVs, and that was like huge in my world, because even though we weren't top stars, it was a chance to move up. And when you get on that stage and step in the ring with some of the guys that we stepped in the ring with, anytime, anywhere, I mean, it's right place, right time, it could be your chance. And we had a blast living the dream. And I went on into the 90s, and Bobby Fulton of the Fantastics, I give him a lot of credit. He created a character behind you here in face paint that was Mad Max, and Bobby, it had been done before in the AWA in the 80s, and Bobby wanted to redo it with me. He had his own show, own promotion down here in North Carolina, and we did the face painting, and it was going to be a big heel type thing. And Sting was hot at the time. Sting was doing the Black Scorpion, that angle there. And so we were doing independent shows with this Mad Max guy here, and people were cheering. We were going to be a big heel guy with kind of a lunatic. People were cheering because I kind of fed off the Sting image. And so Bobby said, well, hey, if they're going to cheer for you, we'll just turn you into a good guy, baby face. So anyways, he also took me to WCW for a couple of tryouts, and they put me on TV there. And that's where I had my good run. I had about 2 years, 91, 92. Some of the matches are on YouTube, but they had me a good run with WCW as a middle card guy, enhancement guy, whatever. And we did that in the meantime in the weekends, just like a baseball player playing AAA or whatever, playing those games and trying to get better and trying to make the big leagues. Very similar in wrestling. So I continued doing my independent stuff on the weekends, and then doing my TV stuff on the weekdays, and then all that plus working a regular job. I had that insurance, so we was a busy. 1990s were very busy for me, and that led up to a lot of great things as far as experiences. I mean, I can give you a list of the guys I've been in the ring with. It's pretty impressive, I would say. If you'd like to hear them, I'd tell you.
Sure, this is your time after all.
Back in '88 when I started, my third wrestling match in my career, as far as the big time. You remember the Colossal Connection? Haku and Andre the Giant?
Yes.
They put me in the ring with him. Now it's like, wow, it's 2015, and some of the stories I tell, like talking to you now. And at the time, it was kind of hard to comprehend, but now I look back, what's that, almost 2008, 2009, that's almost, 30 years ago. And it's still kind of cool knowing that I stepped in the ring with Andre. That was one of the best experiences in my wrestling career. Also, Big Boss Man and the King, if you remember back then, Bad News Brown, the Bolsheviks, Nikolai Volkov, and Kurt Angle, let's see, Scotty 2 Hotty, a couple of matches with him, and of course, down here in North Carolina, I've known the Hardys and Shane Helms for a long time. We've been friends since the 90s. They were independent guys at one time, and they got the call. We were very proud. I feel like I told Shane just recently, I felt like a piece of me went with him because we're family down here. The North Carolina clique, and so many of my friends made it to the top, and it was so neat. Still today, even today, this hat here, Omega Championship Wrestling, that's Shane. That's Hurricane Shane Helms' baby, or the Hardy Boys' baby. They started this promotion in the 90s, and it's kind of cool, looking back. But seeing those guys make it, and also, I moved on into WCW and wrestled. Like I said, for 2 years, some of the names: Terry Taylor, Larry Zbyszko, former world champion, Sting on 4 different occasions. 2 of them were tag matches. And that was kind of neat because I found out later that Sting would come to TV and say, "Where's that Charcuterie guy?" You know, and I'm like, because evidently I did a good job. I guess, you know, that was kind of a compliment. You know, he requested me, and they actually told him he needed to find someone else because you guys have been wrestling every week on TV and people were getting tired of it. But Steve Austin came in and Stunning Steve and wrestled him in Fayetteville. That was in 1992. And, that was his first WCW. It's on YouTube. WCW Steve Austin's Stone Cold Steve Austin's first TV match in WCW. That'll come up. And wow, man, Ricky Steamboat and Raging Bull Manny Fernandez. Oh, good land. I can go on and on. We look over here. I got some photos. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Mick Foley.
Well, if you'd like to give us a tour, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, okay. I got my phone, so I can actually move around a little bit. I'll try to. I hope this is clear for you. But this is a TV picture. Remember Johnny B. Bad? Mark Merrow. He's doing the sunset flip off the top. That's the WCW. You can see the banners there at center stage in Atlanta. This is me and Shane, the Hurricane. That's about 6 months ago. And Hacksaw and Mick Foley. The Russian. I did the Russian Assassin too, so I had the outfit except for the hood. This is a couple of WCW and WW. Yes, on the top first Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express. That was a TV match. Bottom is Kurt Angle match I was telling you about in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I can kind of. Can you see that?
Yep.
That's Andre. This is, here's the finish here.
Yeah, you have that on your Facebook.
Yeah. It's really cute. A couple of my intro, my TV steals of the WCW and WWF logos. You know, this is all true, very special to me. Sometimes it's kind of surreal because there's me and Steamboat, a couple of pictures, and then Andre, and then just some other. This is. I told you I did the Russian. This is Mick Foley giving me soccer. That was that benefit show I told you I did in North Carolina, in Monksville, North Carolina. So there's Mick, me and Mick, and then Jeff Hardy, and Andre's got me right there. Here's you see that one? That's pretty cool. It's me and Road Warrior Hawk. You can see that.
Hey, can you move it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
How's that?
Yeah.
And then you see that one? Sting. It's a little dark. At least myself, Ted DiBiase, and Sherry Martell, Bushwhackers, Kane right there, me and Kane, Terry Runnels. But my man cave is, thankfully my wife let me have my man cave. It's awesome. You can see it for the whole. But it's you know, that was a little bit of my tour. But you know, throughout the years, it's really cool knowing that, you know, I lived a dream, and I challenge and I encourage all young folks out that you know, live your dream and believe in yourself. I mean, it's very important that, you know, people of this day and time, you know, quick to judge and quick to tell people, you know, they can or can't do something. My challenge to the youth, and I tell them as I see them along, you know, if you have something you want to I don't care, whatever, it's any sport, you know, if you're a race car driver, you know, if you're an avid fisherman, or if you're a soccer player, or whatever, basketball, baseball, you know, don't let anybody ever tell you can't do it. And you know, like I said, everybody in show business got to start somewhere. You know, the music industry, wrestling industry, everybody was nobody at one time, so to speak. You know, everybody was nobody, and they had whether it was right place, right time, or they won some competition singing, or if they won, you know, the Tough Enough or whatever they call it. You know, they started somewhere, and it does me well to know that someone lived a dream, and that's why it's dear to me about when the Hardy Boys and Shane Helms, they were with me. We were, you know, hanging out, traveling, and doing our thing, and then they got the call to move up. You know, Shane went to the WCW with 3 count, and Jeff and Matt went up to WWF or WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they succeeded, and I succeeded. I just, you know, just because I didn't make the big bucks, and I didn't, you know, not everybody knows who I am. I've got a heck of a resume, and I'm proud to say that. And it worked out. It worked out good. You know, 2000, we went through the 80s and 90s. And 2000s came along, the turn of the century, and can we roll into my personal story?
Sure.
Okay. I'm still doing my independent. I went to wrestle overseas for a company in 1999 and 2000. Went overseas tour. The USO cut me out of Charlotte, picked me to go with them, and we went over and wrestled in Japan and Hawaii and Guam. It's all on military bases, and it was awesome. It was an experience I'll never forget. 30-day tour. Then we came back and we went on an Alaskan tour the next year, and it was all military. It was awesome seeing the guys and ladies in uniform and entertaining for them, hanging out with some of the top stars, Bushwhackers, Rock and Roll Express, and Tatanka was with us, Chris Chavis, and just really cool to be able to do that. Well, 2005, 2006, 2005, I was wrestling and doing my thing, and in 2006, you're in New York, correct?
Yes.
You have a commission, as far as the athletics commission?
Yes.
In Virginia, they have one. In North Carolina, does not. In the state of Virginia, you have to have a license to perform. And this will lead into my personal story. And, you know, normally, I'm not going to lie to you, normally the wrestlers get together, we would know someone or somebody's friend that's a nurse or in the medical industry can get us all they want is a piece of paper saying you had a physical. We know it's not the honest thing, but a lot of times we did that. Well, just to get our license. But this time, you know, I was 38 years old, and I thought, probably need to get a physical, you know, just to be safe and do this the right way. And we did, or I did. And lo and behold, you know, a simple physical turned into the doctor calling me the next day saying, there's a spot in your neck we need to check. I need to look more into just to double check and make sure you're okay. I said, what is it? What's going on? He said, let me send you to someone else and we'll find out just to make sure. And of course my mind's starting, okay, what could this be, you know? Well, one thing led to another, and 6-7 days later I went to a specialist, and they kept on back and forth, and I thought, what is going on? It's back right in here, down deep in my tissue. And it didn't hurt, I had no idea. Well, the biopsy results came back, and it was lymphoma, you know, cancer. And you know, you're talking about your life stopping. And you see my dog right there?
Yes.
It's your life changing and stopping on a dime. That's what happened, and it's so emotional. And as you can imagine, it's such a huge surprise. So you have to excuse. I think my wife just got home, so they may start barking, but they'll head downstairs. And we went up to fight, you know, a different fight, not wrestling. It was a fight against the disease, and 2006 was everything aside, my job, my career, my family, and I had to put up the toughest fight of my life. And I went through, I say we because my family, I feel like they were involved because they were with me the whole way. Chemotherapy in August of 2006, it went through the end of the year. January 2007, I received 12 rounds of radiation. And let's see, February 20th, I think, 2007, I was declared cancer-free, and I'm a man of faith. I really believe in I don't believe in coincidence. I believe things happen for a reason, and I'm fully put my faith and trust in the Lord. That's me, and I really believe in my heart. It wasn't meant for me to go. A lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of people that find out that news, the results aren't as good, but I'm faithful. I'm blessed to be here. But go get her. Go get her. She's here. Sorry about that.
Not a problem.
2007, in remission, cancer-free, and I decided to hang up the boots in wrestling. I had it takes a lot out of you. I mean, everybody's touched by cancer. Everybody knows somebody, or family, or friends. It's touches everyone in some way, shape, or form. But it does. It also really pushes your body to the back. It pushes your body to the edge as far as the treatments. And I never gave up, but I just felt like it was time to maybe hang the boots up, and because it just wasn't not that I don't know. It's kind of, I didn't want to quit wrestling, but then again, I didn't have the same desire I had before. My energy level and all the things that came along with the fight took me down a little notch. And like I was telling you earlier, I did one benefit. Oh my goodness, the Russian. That's about the only thing I would do now, is because I got not in the shape I was in before. But that was in 2012. That was in 2013. But 2000, I went ahead. 2007, 8, 9, 10. I supported wrestling. I went to shows and did a few of the interviews. What do you call them? The videotape interviews. We
right.
Talked for some of the guys. And 2012 rolled around, which was 6 years later, and I was hurting in my side. My right side was hurting. It was Thanksgiving of 2011. Discomfort. I thought I had pulled a muscle, so went to the doctor. By the way, backtrack, rewind. 2006. When I was declared cancer-free, there's a 90% success when you're cured from Hodgkin's lymphoma. There's a 90% that they have very good results. Very good. The numbers are very good as far as permanent remission. So I was taking that to heart, and I was really glad. But 2012, the issues, I didn't even think about it. I thought, I pulled a muscle, I did something. And one thing led to another. We started getting checked, and doctors like, let's just be safe, let's get you a scan, one of the CT scans. We did, thinking it would come back, hey, you pulled a muscle, or you got a little bit of anything, gallbladder, or anything, stuff that's sometimes, normal. But he called me the same day, and he says, we need to get you over to Duke. Looks like your lymph nodes are swollen in that area, and the pain's coming from the lymph nodes are swollen, and they're pushing against your pancreas. So I was like, what does this mean? I'm at Chick-fil-A at the time. I'm eating, just like a normal day. I walked outside. I said, what does it mean? He said, it means, I can't say, but we need to make sure everything's going to be okay. We need to put, he knew, he just couldn't say it because, I guess, lawsuits or whatever, which, I don't know. But I went over to Duke, and they talked to treating specialist, and they did a biopsy. They did an actual surgical biopsy. And I tell you, waiting is what Tom Petty sang that song. Waiting is the hardest part. It is really the hardest part. Because 2 weeks later, you're sitting there thinking, what in the world? Trying to live your life and go on about your business is tough. And yeah, the inevitable, it was bad. Cancer had returned, and the lymph nodes were swollen because the lymphoma had come back. But this time, they go about it. The second time coming back again, they go about it a little different. This time, it required a bone marrow transplant, and that's 2012 March. Let's see, I told you Thanksgiving of 11. I was feeling the pain, discomfort. And 2012 rolled around. We did 6 weeks of chemo. I took the summer off. Then I went and had a bone marrow transplant in September of 2012. So I spent a lot of time at Duke that year. And you may not know a little bit about the transplant. I didn't have a donor. Thank God I didn't have to have a donor. That makes it even tougher. But I had the type of cancer that I had. There's a few things that you can qualify for your own cells. It's called there's 3 different kinds of transplants. Well, anyways, I didn't know anything about this, but I'm an expert now. Unfortunately, I had to learn. But they took my stem cells, froze them, and put them back in my body. And so it took. 2012 came along, and then September came along, and we did the transplant, and then in December of 2012. They declared me cancer free again, so I won it again, and I just this wow, here it is, 2015, and just for whatever reason, God's not done with me yet, I'm still here, and feel great, things are good, and I had let me get my years straight. I guess it's like a big blur sometimes because it's like, did it really happen? It's like a bad dream. It's 2015, last year. Yep. They do a yearly scan. Now I do every 6 months. I'll go again in August, just precautionary. And they saw a spot. This is last year now. And they wanted to look into it because they're going to, once you've had something like that, they look into it and they take it serious. They go to the full extent, make sure you're good. So that was February, and then August they rescanned me, and it had grown, and they're like, we're pretty sure. And I thought I was going to fight it a third time, and then I want you to know that they did the biopsy, came back, and they said there's no cancer. They said we think it's scar tissue or some sort of a fatty tumor or whatever. They could not believe it. This is Duke University, And I thought, Lord, the Lord took care of that for me, and I thought I'd already prepared for a third fight. So I'm blessed and thankful to be sitting here talking to you, giving you a little bit about my life story, and I hope it's not boring people, but it's pretty interesting once you live it, and you appreciate life a lot more. You want to help people and encourage people, and spiritually, emotionally, physically. Just want to be a positive influence because I feel like I'm a positive person, or at least I'm told I am. And I try to look at we have the old saying, glass half full or half empty. Well, I try to keep my glass always half full. But other than that, to sum it up, that's pretty much it. I may have missed a few things, and if I think of them as we talk, I'll remind you. I'll let you know, or as I go along, my wrestling testimony or whatever, and then a little bit of my personal life mixed in. But wrestling, I tell people, wrestling in a way could have saved my life, because had it not been for that wrestling event in Virginia, I probably wouldn't have. I felt great. I didn't have any issues. And back to that day when I went and decided to get that physical, it was probably the best decision I've ever made, because if I'd have waited a year, 6 months, whatever, who knows how bad it would have gotten. They called it at stage 2. When it gets to stage 4, it's a little tougher to treat. And so the wrestling business is the reason I went. kind of feel like wrestling business saved my life. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's something I wouldn't have done. Now that I'm almost 48 years old, I'll be 48 in August. I would have been more, I need to go, with just your normal routine, especially when you're close to 50. But at 38, feeling good wrestling. Yeah, 38, I still felt good. I felt, when you're in a wrestling ring and you're in your 30s, you feel like you're in your 20s. And sometimes I see some of the guys on TV, I'm thinking, this guy's 36 years old doing these crazy flips. I know. Sometimes your mind tells you, your body's telling you no, and your mind's telling you yes. And I've done that. I've been there before. I did some spot that I shouldn't have been doing and landed on my rear end or whatever. And I'm thinking, I talked to a couple of referees and, I shouldn't have done that. But I admire these kids today. Some of the stuff they do is unbelievable.
Well, before we wrap up, I do have 2 hard-hitting questions for you.
All right.
And also, I do have a request that I'd like to ask you after the show, if you don't mind. But the 2 hard-hitting questions is, you're talking about your faith and religion, and this is a perfect time to ask you this question. Do you believe in, I don't mean to piss you off by it, a lot of people feel mixed emotions about it, and if you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But do you believe in life after death? And I can ask you the other one after.
Yeah, well, not me. Everybody has this is America, and everybody has a right to their opinion and their beliefs, and I respect that. I'm not one to thump people with the Bible, but you asked me, so I want to tell you, I feel like, I believe it's what the Scripture talks about. I do believe once a man, woman perishes, dies, once their time is up on this earth, that if they've accepted Jesus, they're going to heaven. If they haven't, they're going to hell. I do believe that. I believe in a spiritual life. I believe in an intervention. I believe in a heaven. I believe in the things the Bible talks about, and I'm living that. I'm hoping to live that every day. And from my standpoint and what I believe, this was something not because of cancer. I became a young Christian at age 20. My faith and strength got stronger due to a sickness. And I have friends that don't believe that. I have friends that do believe that. I'm not limited. I have friends on this earth that I consider friends regardless of their beliefs. They respect mine. I respect theirs. I'm not going to not talk to someone because they don't feel the way I feel. I've learned as I've gone. There's a lot of things that I don't 100% understand. I've got wonderful church, wonderful preacher that I can speak with if I feel like it to find out information. And I still believe. I'll read for myself. I don't believe no man tells me. I'm going to read what I feel and believe the way I feel, interpret the way I interpret. That's pretty much my answer. I believe in the spiritual life. I believe in heaven. I believe in a hell, and that's pretty much that.
All right. Well, the second part of that is, do you believe when someone dies, that's the next step? Do you believe there's more to life, or do you think this is it?
As far as after you die on this earth?
Yes.
I think, let's take Dusty Rhodes, for instance. He died last week, and Dusty left a part of wrestling died when Dusty died. Right now, I believe, the reason I'm saying he's in Dusty is because he just passed. He was a Christian. He's in heaven with the Lord. If he's not, unfortunately, I believe that he would be in hell. But that goes for anybody. I think when your time's up in the flesh, it's up. It's over. I don't believe in reincarnation. I don't believe in any of the things some people do believe, and that's their choice. That's what they want to believe. That's their business. But pretty much do believe once it's over in the flesh. Then the spiritual life begins. The Holy Spirit who lives within my heart takes me to another place, and I believe that place is heaven. But if someone believes different, I respect that. That's their right to believe. And what's the old saying? We agree to disagree. But for instance, like I told you, it's not. I'm one of many, many, many millions of people. You go across the country, across the world, and you can hear a whole different, their ways in their country, and in this country we live in, I do, just like I said, I believe the way pretty much the Bible talks about. And a lot of people are familiar with that, even if they haven't accepted the Lord. I believe they are familiar with what salvation is, or if they've heard of pastors. In America, it's all over the place. Down south is the Bible Belt. There's a church every 3 miles down here. And I also believe, now, this is my feeling, there's a lot of religious people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, the ones that play church and go to Sundays, go to their Sundays and look good in front of the preacher and in front of the congregation. That looks great. You can impress the preacher, but I believe, you can't get nothing past the Lord. And I've been guilty of it before. I don't feel like I am as much now because I'm walking closer than I've ever walked. But there's tons and tons and tons and tons of people who are going to miss the boat, in my opinion, because the church doesn't, being religious, word religious not even in the Bible, and playing church is a different. The Bible says it's better to be hot or cold than lukewarm. He'll spit you out of his mouth. He said, if you're lukewarm, that's worse than being cold. That's worse than somebody like the kid that just did that in Charleston. I don't know his life, I don't know his heart, I don't know it's his business, but he's cold from a standpoint of that what he did wrong. But the Bible says it's worse to be lukewarm, to play church and to chastise people and be like the hypocrites. And, you're going to hell, or you better. See, who am I to say that? I'm just another person on this earth living, believing the way I believe. I'm not going to do that. And but I kind of went off the subject there. But that's pretty much how I think. The past 10 minutes, I've explained what I feel like, and I appreciate you asking, because you can ask 20 people and you've got 20 different opinions.
Right.
Even Christians don't believe in the same. Sometimes bicker and argue about this and that. So it's never going to be, you're not going to find two people pretty much that agree. That's like politics. We pick the president, and everybody complains about, no matter what side you're on. There's always, well, he promised to do this and that. You're not going to have the perfect. It's not going to happen.
I'm jealous about it. I believe in a heaven and hell. There's a balance, yin and yang. Up and down, left and right, good and bad. There's always has to be a balance.
Rob Van Dam's tights, right? You ever seen his tights?
Right.
Or RVD. But, yeah. It's true. And at the end of the day, when I lay my head down at night, I know in my heart, I know with all my heart and soul, if I take my last breath, in my heart, I know that I'm going to be in a better place. And, I don't worry about it. I'm one of these guys, I guess when you look at death, like I did, cancer is a killer, obviously. And when you're told you have cancer, and you're told God's in the survival rate, and it could do this or it could do that. I mean, that you're staring death in the face, and that's you can't explain that until you face it. And it's not just cancer, heart attacks or tragic accidents. People don't like. I mean, some people, no matter what the situation is, a lot of people that look death in the face and they're still here for whatever reason. And, you really, until you live that, until you experience that, I can't really explain. It really gives you priorities, whatever you believe or don't believe. You tend to look at it and think a little more serious. It's kind of like when you get up in age, people in their 60s and say, well, people are dying younger. It seems like, you start thinking, as a matter of fact, today, I'll be 48 in August. I was thinking, what was I doing the Dusty Rose was 69. What was I doing 21 years ago? And I'm thinking, that was not that long ago. Mike mentioned that to me, my friend from college, but Mike Howell, Mike Maverick, Jack Duck, whatever, wrestling gimmicks. But he says, think about 20 years ago where we were. We've been friends since 1985. And I thought about it. He said, that wasn't that long ago, Chuck. And I'm thinking, you got a point. So I tell you, I take life every day I wake up. I take I don't take it for granted. I take it as a blessing, and I look at it as I'm here another day to live. And, there they go. They're mine. But
Anything you want to say to your fans and listeners?
Anybody that, like, the one thing, as far as YouTube, if you want to watch or any of the matches, there's about 5 or 6 on there. I've got over here probably 35 tapes, 40 tapes. I said tapes, yeah, old. I'm old school, but I need to get those transferred one day. I need to do it soon because they're not getting, some other tapes are 20 years old. But there are 4 or 5. Some of the people put, usually if you put in Chuck Coates, wrestler, the matches will come up. Some of them. And also, if you aren't familiar with me, like I said, I was pretty much enhancement talent for WCW and WWE in the late 80s on into the 90s. So, other than that, I have an email, or not email, but I guess a Facebook. Is that the best way? If anybody wants to contact me, what's the best way to do that?
I would say probably Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter is Chuck Coates. Max Coates. M as in Mike. Max has got 2 X's. M-A-X-X. Coates, C-O-A-T-E-S. All one word. Max Coates at yahoo.com. And Facebook, Chuck Coates. And North Carolina usually comes up. Chuck Coates. I don't know how you do that, but anybody that wants to. I got Messenger. Or send me a private message. I can be with any. If anybody watches this and would like to speak to me, just feel free to contact me because, like I said, the main thing is encouraging people. We're all in this together,